Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Security Bread podcast. So, I'm Giorgio. This is a little project of mine where I invite cool people from the cybersecurity industry to talk about some of the latest stories from the field and, get some different opinions and different knowledge in there so that, the final goal is to learn something and just have a chill and nice conversation while you can all watch and contribute using the comments down below. So today I'm so happy to have Fardeen Ahmed with us, and we're going to talk about three specific news. First one, some recent technique that was identified to exploit chatbots and LLMs using some invisible text. Second news of the day is recent, soon to be released European regulation, which is going to force companies to scan information running into messaging apps, which is pretty concerning. And finally, the news that gave the title to the episode, which is that the FBI created cryptocurrency in order to investigate some pump and dump schemes, which is apparently very effective in order to catch those scammers and bad guys. So this is it. I'm gonna introduce Fardeen to you, and here we go. Hi, Fardeen. How are you?
Hello, hi. Thank you so much for inviting me over your podcast. It's great to be here. The name is Fardeen Ahmed. I'm in front of you, and I'm a security engineer as well as an ethical hacker. Apart from that, I generally contribute over different banking domains, over different platforms, doing bug bounty hunting, and apart from that, doing threat intelligence work as a freelance contractor. So that's who I am. And as per the hobby, I love football. So yeah.
That's cool. You seem pretty busy in there, so good for you. Um, that's great. So Fardeen also have a very nice Instagram page. You will find into the video description. And just as a reminder, you're watching this live on YouTube and a few other platforms, but the video will still be available on the YouTube channel. So consider subscribing if you want to see this and the future episodes. And the audio will be re-uploaded on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and those podcast platforms. That's it. Let's go into our news for the day. Going to share my screen in a second if I remember how to do it, and I do. So that's very good. So first news of the day. I already mentioned it before. This was a recent research by some security researchers that are studying what they call prompt injection, with different AI models, so ChatGPT and similar. This one was pretty interesting to me when I read the first time because it's trying basically to use, and I'm going to summarize a lot in here. Basically, they found some specific ASCII Unicode that apparently lets you write something that is invisible because the browser isn't able to render it. So if you have it on your screen, you are basically, as a human, not able to read it. But LLMs and ChatGPT and so on and so forth are actually able to read it and interpret it. And basically, you can write commands or questions to the model in that way without the user actually seeing that. And there's a cool video in there. There's a lot of explanation. The article is pretty good, and you find it in the description. I found it being used as both injection and for exfiltration kind of techniques. So it's pretty cool. Now I will stop because I always talk so much. So let us know what are your first thoughts, when you read this? What did you think about?
Okay, so yeah, it's an advanced method, I would say. Okay, the prompt injection with initializing it with respect to the AI LLM models. So if we have to just jot it down some of the topics, the very first topic that we should work on is what kind of LLMs are being used to make sure that these chatbots are being made. Okay, because if the base LLMs are being used, okay, with respect to these chatbots, so it's going to be not problematic to catch them or any kind of predators if they are doing any kind of, let's suppose, working with the pornographic content or anything as such. Okay, that's going to be a different paradigm. Okay, coming back, if it is going to affect general customers or general consumers or general people, then we have to make sure of another thing, and that is the LLM engine that it is going to pump up. Suppose that there are generally three sections. Okay, there is an LLM model. Okay, then there is a LLM engine, or you can say the software that is being written, and then there is a consumer. Okay, so if a consumer is able to input in any way anything arbitrarily, and it is going to give it back you not a certain set of answers, which is going to be like, if arbitrary things comes up and you say like, no, no, this is not the thing that should pop up. Okay, and it will be like, sorry, this is not what we are trained for, anything as such that is being trained about. Okay, so if this comes up, then it's a good thing, it's a green light. But if it doesn't come up, then there is a problem. And now with this advancement, it's going to be a very tough job for threat intelligence people as well as the product security people, because now you have to be continuously doing penetration testing, and not only just penetration testing, but also with this you have to make sure that the product that is being made, the code that is being generated, the code is being made with respect to the AI as well as the LLMs, or as well as, let's suppose, the code that is being made or wrapped around for over these LLMs. It's going to be very tough for pen testers as well as security researchers, because a slight change and the code will be breaking. Okay, and the code break is going to do a very bad stuff for the company as well as the bots that will be generated. Okay, so personally, if I have to put it in a way, then these chatbots should be limited as much as possible. Okay, and these chatbots should be, I would say, verified with respect to the organization as well as to the clients that are using that organization's bot. Okay, let's suppose WhatsApp is there, and WhatsApp is using any kind of bot, or providing services of bots to their clients. Okay, with respect to shopping, with respect to shops, anything as such. So every person who are there, with respect to the person who are like, if I have a normal, say, a shop, okay, and I'm using their client, I'm that using that service, I have to be make sure that I'm verified at that place, and not everyone should be given that chatbot access to them. First thing. Second, if this gets in the hands of children in any way, then it's a deep trouble stuff. Okay, it's a very trouble stuff, because toddlers, you know how toddlers are. Okay, and they are very much creative, and always curious to learn and know new things and all those stuff. So I would definitely tell that these things should be handled with a very positive and a very careful manner, because with the advancement, we have to make sure that the LLMs that are being used with respect to the developers option, that developers will be using it, they should tune in such a way that those prompt injections are not coming up again and again, because prompt injections will be there, because it's all about prompt injections is all about creativity. You put in a creative work, it's going to take it out. So, and prompt injections are pretty much simple. It's not easy, it's simple. So the people who will be interacting with it also, as well as the developers who are making the software to be wrapped up around these LLM models, they should be very much careful in adding up, as well as they should include the particular keywords that will be restricting any user to go beyond the access towards those LLMs kernel. So that's my personal POV with respect.
Well, I definitely agree with you, right? Limiting the access to such kind of technologies will probably be the best thing to do, right? But at the same time, I see that we're probably going to the opposite direction, right? Because I see, if you take just as an example, Microsoft Copilot, they are already selling it as something that you embed in your you know, overall environment. And this kind of AI assistant is helping you to access all of the company's data, right? So you can basically go in there, ask with a question, and get whatever documents are in all of the company, or at least that you have access to, or just query for anything that is emails or any communication running through the company. So the thing is that, what if what you said doesn't actually happen, and we do have this kind of tools that are accessing any data? And that's going to be a problem, right? Because that's, I think, what this kind of techniques is trying to target. Like, if I want to exfiltrate some data, I'm just going to prompt inject something that is maybe, and this is the example they are doing in the article. It's going to ask, oh, tell me the sales of last year for the company, and just exfiltrate it without the user actually seeing it in the screen, right? So I think that it's going to be very hard, because this kind of tools, it's everywhere. They want to sell it. Everyone want to buy it, because they want to use it, of course.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard.
It's going to be. I'll I healthily agree with everything what you said. The thing is that it is going to be very hard, but as per you said that Microsoft Copilot and Microsoft is integrating AI in every product in it, so that they can monitor for good, for bad. That depends upon the company. We are not the people who are going to judge about it. But with respect to user security, we come up to a conclusion that it depends on oneself if they want to be secured or not, first thing. Okay. Second, integrating Copilot with other things and whether we should be using this thing or not, it all depends upon your use case. The cleaner your use case is, the better it is going to serve you. That's it. Because at the end, it's going to learn from your inputs only. Okay. Whatsoever things that you are going to put in, whatsoever things that you want to going to search around, everything as such. It's going to be like that. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, and of course, Copilot is just an example. Of course, there are other chatbots out there, but I'm just thinking about, any new Microsoft product is basically being embedded in the packets they are selling. Like, you buy the email server, and you magically get I don't know, the AI
Agreed. Agreed.
chatbot and whatever. So
Yeah.
the other thing is that maybe I don't really want it, but I get it anyway. And
Yeah.
so maybe, I'm the owner of the company, and my users are going to use it, even though maybe I don't really want it. I really hope, I'm not sure about this, but I really hope there is a lot of capability in how to configure it, like the access to it, and what kind of data is going to be able to see, and so on and so forth, so that at least I can limit what it can be done through this kind of tools. Because that's the only thing, right, we can do. That's basically what we do with any other technology, right? And yeah, it's just gonna be another big challenge for the security teams out there, for sure. Okay, well, so the thing of prompt injection, I feel like it's gonna be a big topic from now on, because this is definitely the coolest thing to test for those penetration testers out there, and red teamers and the bug bountiers. So I feel like we're gonna read a lot of it in the following weeks and months, like we did in the previous episode as well. But if you're okay with this, I feel we are okay to move to the next news for today, which
Cool.
is yeah, slightly, well, not slightly, definitely different. We're changing topics, we're changing environment here. We're talking about a recent, well, not so recent, but soon to be released European regulation that is basically trying to force companies providing some sort of communication technology. So the article is mainly talking about messaging apps, right? So WhatsApp and Signal and Telegram and those kind of tools. What they would like to achieve is that those companies needs to be constantly scanning their users' communication for any potential child abuse, information data that is being shared. Now, this is a kind of reoccurring topic, especially for this podcast right here, and it's something that I care about. I would like to have some kind of discussion about it. Of course, the reason behind it, it's fair. Of course, we want to comment on those kind of crimes, but at the same time, the only way that this can be done, and you know this if you're in the technological industry, is that the scanning tools needs to have access to the communications themselves. So something, and maybe even someone, is going to read your messages, watch your photos and videos, because they have to determine whether they are related to crimes or not. And this is kind of the dilemma here, right? Uh, should a regulation like this pass or not, and what does it mean if it does, right? Because we are now used to end-to-end encrypted messaging apps where we are decently sure no one is reading our communications, and now there's something like this, which is pretty concerning to me. What do you think?
Okay, so the thing is that 20 it's very sarcastic that 25 years back people were very much about privacy concern and all the things. Today they are much more inclined towards that if it's end to end encrypted, then we are very much secured, and whatever we are talking about, it's not going to be leaked or anything as such. It's not true generally. Anything can be leaked at any moment of time. Okay, no security is perfect. Very first thing. Second, with respect to the EU's this proposition, I don't stand with it because of the fact that if you're scanning or if you are getting to know about all the conversation within the people around, there is no privacy. Okay, so this can be used in a bad way. So let's suppose that there are people, let's suppose we two are having a conversation and we are having conversation against the government in any way over a platform, and it's going to get triggered in any way that these two people are working something which is not according to the government. And if the social media, whatsoever the platform is connected with those government entities in some other way, then they're going to tell that there are, so this area is thinking in this way and this area is thinking in this way. The same thing that happened with the metas previously, that thing happened with respect to the rigged elections past 2 to 3 years back. So scanning people's conversation is not going to solve any kind of thing. Okay, controlling the chart with respect to the people is going to be changed only and only if you bring in reforms with respect to the data that you're circulating within the companies as well as in the environment, and apart from that, the adherence with respect to the reforms that you're bringing in. Okay, let's suppose that brought the company, the EU brought up that okay, we are going to make sure that the people's data and the conversation is going to be only healthy for the government, which is not right thing also because of the fact that there should be a negative force as well as a positive force, so that, and there should be a debate about it, discussion about it. Okay, because these debates and discussion is going to bring out the best for the people. There should not be a bias with respect to only one thing. It's a very zero thing that I'm starting up. Okay, second thing, if any company, even though every company say that we don't have access to your messages, they do have access to the messages. Okay, they do have access to messages, media control, everything. Okay, so if you think, if anyone thinks that yes, as that we'll be making sure that they are getting, what do you say, we are scanning up to make sure that they are secured and their conversation should not be going above the part. Well, this is a very absurd thing that if they will be doing it, then it's a very absurd thing. That's my personal POV. Okay, other than that, if we go in depth about if it relates the COPPA, means for Child Protection Acts, I would say that uh, parents for sure are some or the other way should be involved when their toddlers, the children, they are having any kind of conversation with respect to the chat apps, social media apps around the social, around their devices. Okay, they should be people, the parents should be as much simple, as much as straightforward, as well as, what you say, simple with them. Ask them, ask their queries, ask them if they're having any issue, and be blunt and they should not react over their questions. Okay, they should, even if the questions are being terrible. Coming back with respect to the government's perspective, the chat control system has been proposed not only once, it has been proposed from way before, from 80s. Okay, from the moment when people were using IRC channels, when they were being monitored, they were told that NSA was monitoring in a very heavy way, but were they or they weren't, it has not been disclosed. Okay, when lulsec, that complete, so lulsec was a group. When they were caught, they were asked about what were the, it was a hacking group, black hat group. When they were asked about it, they told about, they explained everything and why they should not be controlled over their IRCs, because they have the right of privacy and all those things. So chat control proposition is going to come again and again. Okay, and it's going to come up with every possible, turns and twists, so that people's life, me, you, everyone who are watching this podcast, everyone, they're going to get, stuck in some or the other way, so that they'll be question, they should not question a lot of things. What's that government think of, or they should be thinking of, they generally think of. But actually, we as security people, as well as the people like you, me, we want to make sure that the people who are there, they should have the right to privacy, and these control stuff should not be there for the people who will be using the social media and everything. What's your take on it?
So, well, this is pretty challenging to me, right? Because I often bring this kind of topics, and my point is, I actually on your same position, right? I definitely agree with you, and what I will do, what I would like to do is to have someone with a different, position on this, which is apparently pretty hard to find, and this is interesting, right? Because there's definitely some kind of discussion about this topic right here with two different factions, but I maybe be I definitely am in let's say in a echo chamber, so everyone I bring up into my podcast has always this the same position, so I should look more for someone else, because definitely I know there are going to be very good arguments from the other position as well, but yeah, it's not going to be the case so soon. So well, another thing that probably you mentioned at some point, but I would like to spend a little time, it's about false positives, right? Let's say that, okay, we start doing it because let's say we need it, right? And we start monitoring communication and everything. Let's say that this reasoning, the reasoning behind this is stronger than the right to privacy, so we need to do this. My point is, what about all of those, because there are going to be false positives into catching someone else. We know that I'm expecting some kind of technology like this to use AI to recognize automatically what kind of communication or photo is related to child abuse or not. But we know it's not going to be always perfect. Definitely, we have seen errors and issues in the past in other areas. Actually, there was a very cool, like another news last week regarding um, um, you know car monitoring AI thing that was actually collecting information about houses and words on T-shirts and everything. So we know it can be wrong. And what happens if that happens? And the other thing is so if we use AI, let's say that we use it, we know there's going to be a training phase for the AI. So my question is, if we want the AI to recognize child abuse, what kind of data we need to train the AI, and is that safe to do? Like that's mind blowing for me, and a very big topic as well.
Okay, so let's take it one by one. Okay, so
Sure.
very first thing, if you said, let's suppose it's with respect to technology, you told about, as explained in our conversation, that with respect to vehicles, okay, you said that the data is being collected. Okay, the collection of data is not the problem, the management is first thing, and the second thing is manage, if it is being managed properly, how it is being processed. Okay, let's suppose I collect your data. And if I circulate your data, let's suppose you're a person who wants to get a job at any company or any place, you are applying at different places. Okay, you get a person, you get a person and you said that, see man, you're working at a good places. Okay, you circulate this, circulate my data, you circulate my resume over different places. You circulated it at all the places. So if it ended at the best places of the job market, some other way there will be some recruiter that's going to come up to you, which is a very fruitful thing. But what if that data reaches to dark market? Okay, that is the tricky part. Okay, now if we are talking with respect to artificial intelligence and LLMs, okay, and if we are training them properly, okay, for the very first part of the question that has been asked, that has been have a conversation about for vehicles, getting the data as to how the things are working around. Let's suppose we take the example of Tesla. Okay, it readily collects the data. Tesla, by the way, Tesla is not a car company, it's a data company, and most of the people don't get it. Okay? Most of the people will be thinking of that it's a car company, it's cool that creating electric based vehicles and all those things. In reality, it's a it's a data driven company. Most of the people don't understand that thing, and they are training their tuning their LLMs in those ways. Now, coming back to the question, if that vehicle is being used and if the AI is being integrated to see as to how the environment is, there should be a very dedicated security team, okay, as well as an automated security framework around it to make sure that every step that is being done, every step with respect from scanning the nearby objects to retaining that scan over, let's suppose if they are maintaining any database or doing anything as such, it should be done in the most secured way possible. Okay, so Tesla uses the top quality cryptographic, things, I would say, cryptographic setups, if I have to say this. So there are around, it has been tuned about around the 98.6% chances there only to break that algorithm. Okay, so and that can only be done with respect to quantum computing, if I have to put it. First thing. Okay. Second, if we move towards, so just for sum it up for the vehicle part, it's about how you are using that data, how the collection of data is being done, and how securely it is being transferred, and how it is being populated with respect to the vehicle, I'm saying. Now if we go with respect to the child, let's suppose children are being using any kind of application, something as such, okay, that is being integrated with artificial intelligence, and some or the other, whatsoever it is. Okay, let's suppose it's a cocoa melon thing. Okay, they are watching it. Okay, and there will be some application, their game is there, there will be like having a conversation, and it's knowing your child, and it's putting out those kind of advertisement, let's suppose, if it is not in the right manner. So again, I'm going to bring it back that there is a security team, there is a management team of the data, and there is a data science team of each AI company that is running. Okay, so and most of the thing is they target with respect to that. Okay, they're targeting human with respect to that, so they're taking care of the security, that is for sure, that they're trying their level best. But as we had a discussion before, that prompt injection is a very creative attack. It's a very creative attack. It can come up at any time. Even let's suppose children will be typing up any as such, and it might not post to them as a prompt injection, but it comes up as a prompt injection, and it might reveal something which is very much sensitive any other person. So even if that AI is collecting those data, whatsoever the children are working on, or whatsoever the things that their project is, let's suppose over any social media markets or social media platforms that they are sharing their information, let's suppose project works or anything as such. Okay, the AI that is being tuned right now, it is being tuned manually by humans. Okay, so there are different companies that are outsourcing the people towards these companies to tune these models to check whether the answers that are being prompted out with these prompts is right or not, or whether it's actually to be accepted or to be rejected. And it's being done heavily. This is one of the jobs also, if I have to say, in the market. So the thing that you propose, yeah, it's a challenging work, it's a very challenging work. But with time, there are positive chances that AI is going to, I'm not going to say it's prone on, sorry, the wrong word, it's going to be secured completely with respect to prompt injection, but it's going to be around 80 to 90% that it won't be getting broken up by a simple prompt injection prompt. Okay, just like that. Okay, it's going to take some very much curative task. It's going to take a lot of reconnaissance, about about that LLM, how it is being made, and as well as a thorough read about the through their documentation as to how this complete LLM has been set it up. If a person is being able to do that, then there are around 5 to 10% of chances that they can bypass it. So just to jot it down, if an AI company collects the data, okay, whether it's with respect to vehicle or with respect to the child, what the children, whatever they are using on social media, they have to be very, very much careful about using that data. Although around 60 to 80% of companies are not, okay, they are just populating it towards advertisement to make sure that they get the profit, okay, but those 20% are creating an impact, okay, and those 20% are creating a benchmark for other 80% companies also. So there have come up a revolution, and it's starting up, that people have companies have started to tune their LLM not only for advertisement purpose, not only for profit, but also for use cases, because at the end, attention is also one of the key thing, okay, that is needed. Let's suppose if I use an application and it only bombards with advertisement, I'm going to uninstall it at the same moment, and any child is going to uninstall it. And these recommendations will be done by AI itself, that's collecting data. So the companies are coming up, switching up towards usability also, okay, to make sure that the advertisement market as well as the usability market is maintained in the most elegant way possible. That's all from mine.
Yeah, I mean, you probably touched pretty much everything in there. I just want to add a comment. Like you say that something like this, will require a lot of work, a lot of technology, a lot of efforts in order to secure everything, because we're talking about very very sensitive data, right? And we're basically talking about breaching the people privacy all around the world. And at the same time, I do believe if this is ever going to happen, they will put the most effort possible, right? But at the same time, we know that there's no thing such as 100% security. So there's going to be a flaw, there's going to be a problem, and so since this is going to be very very sensitive, very very um, just critical data to be handled there. I know that someone is going to try hard in order to breach it and in order to potentially exfiltrate it, and that's very, that's a risk that still I do not think it's possibly worth to consider, right? But once again, just my personal opinion, and I invite everyone to express yourself and let us know in a comment what you think about it. That said, I would like to move and jump into the third and last news for tonight. We are talking about this piece from The Verge, where they talk about a recent how do you call it, like a campaign mission, like activity from the FBI, where they are or they did actually in the past created an entirely new cryptocurrency, okay, and all the ecosystem behind it. And the reason why they did it was that once released it and pushed into the cryptocurrency market with all of those traders and all of those companies enabling users to trade into cryptocurrency, they were able to basically track the users and all of the entities involved into the trading of their own cryptocurrency, and basically identify when a scam was being done. And we're talking especially into what they call pump and dump. So just a quick summarization. Basically, we're talking about something where you start trading a specific asset, in this case a cryptocurrency, just to make it make other believe that there's some demand for that kind of assets, so the price is going to increase and more people will be interested, making the value even more, so that at some point they just withdraw everything, and all the value is not there anymore, and the who started just makes all of the money behind it. uh, I just thought this was very interesting to know that law enforcement and agencies are actually doing something like this, and that maybe they don't have the capabilities themselves, but they know who to talk to, who to work with in order to do such things. And yeah, it's cool to see law enforcement to be so technology advanced, let's say. Any thoughts about that? Anything?
Crypto has been a very famous term from the time when I have been, into cybersecurity, and before cybersecurity also. So, okay, so as for the crypto that is being pumped up by the what do you say FBI, it's going to be much more like not a crypto but a what do you say CBDC. Okay, so central banking
Okay.
or central bank digital coins. Okay, so these coins are going to be always traceable. Okay, and these coins are see the main purpose of cryptocurrency was not to get tracked about any kind of transaction that is being done. These are CBDC, so they are clearly getting just got hold of the person who is having it, and they have a complete ledger as to which person is giving it to whom and everything as such. Okay, so there is not a single topic to pop it up that FBI don't know where you're using it. Even if I pay it to you, if I pay it to any merchant, anything as such, they know everything. And that is a very cool thing that have been started up way before in the late 90s. They started to create their own fake Bitcoin, if I have to say. Okay, they did
Mhm.
start it up, but it didn't work well because it didn't work well because the ledger was not built properly over Solidity, means the language that is being built up to create ledgers and all those cryptocurrency work. Okay, coming back, FBI pumping up these coins and people doing the pump and dump schemas and all those things. At the end, it's all about again collecting the data of the people. Again, coming back to it all comes back to collecting data of the people. Okay, FBI proposed this thing because there are a lot of people. Okay, we can just take it up in a way that there are so many millionaires and billionaires around us, so many of them, that around their 40% of assets is in cryptocurrency or anything as such. It is there. Okay, and the worst part is they are not able to trace it. Okay, so people who are good with FBI, people who are like well versed with the FBI, they are getting some or the other way some kind of help in any other way, just for the cases if it happens, any kind of donation, anything else, it's going up again and again, and it's okay. But the people who are secretly or just living privately with respect to and using cryptocurrency for their own good, they are getting very much pushed up through these organizations, the government organization. They want to have, a lot of times people don't share their asset over cryptocurrency or crypto tradings that they are doing it. Okay, they are able to pump out good amount of money. Okay, that looks very much illegal, but it's actually legal. Okay, so let's suppose you had a setup of around $3,000 of a complete setup of let's say Bitcoin mining. Okay, you per month, without doing anything, you're just pushing it up and you're just maintaining the systems. Okay, and after that you're able to pump out as many cryptocurrency, or I would say as many coins as possible. I'm not saying there is a limitation, there is a power limitation. Okay, so the more power you're putting it up, the more pump up it's coming up to you, means the user. Now, FBI, with respect to these CBDCs, these are what do you say, CBDCs, yeah, digital coins. These CBDCs, they are currently not only monitoring it but also putting a restriction, because if they won't put a restriction, it's going to make rise of inflation. That's a very simple thing. Okay, and most of the people want to go what they want to go forward. Okay, they don't want to care about, okay, whatsoever the government is doing up, I don't care about it. I want to make my own money. I'm working my completely hard over this thing. I'm setting up the thing and I should get amount of money. The problem is the FBI or any kind of organization wants to centralize the market of cryptocurrency, which is going to be a very tedious and a tough task, because at the end the complete cryptocurrency essence is based on decentralization. Okay, so if they're saying that they're bringing cryptocurrency, we have to make sure that it's not a cryptocurrency, it's a CBDC first thing. Okay, it's a coin that will be completely traceable. It's not going to be like notes. It's not going to be any plastic paper, any kind of a thing. It's not going to be bond. It's going to be completely your own. Your hands have those, coins in your wallet, in your digital wallet. Everything will be traceable. First thing. Second, if we move forward, that do we need to use these things or should we use these things? Again, it will depend upon the reforms that will come up. If they push it up that we are not going to use these paper currencies, anything as such, you do need to use these things, that then adherence is the only thing that we'll be moving forward. Okay. And these all things are being done to make sure that every single person who are using any kind of currency with respect to cryptocurrency, any kind of thing, so they can be traced up in a much legalized and subtle way possible. Okay, that's my take. What do you think?
Well, this is definitely a very big topic, right? And I do have some opinions of mine. And well, this all crypto market started because you mentioned it, right? We, people creating it wanted to decentralize all the money system, so to don't have those middlemen and banks and everything. And I feel like it's definitely uh, nice and fair ideological thing, right? But at the same time, the broader, public and people out there, I don't think they feel the need for something like it, right? Not like everyone in the world or the majority of people out there. So that means that it's I don't think there's ever going to be a very big usage of this kind of tools, I would say, or technology by the broader public. And this is also the reason why this kind of scams and things develop so much, because that's all of the people right now really interested in cryptocurrencies are the ones that really want to make a lot of money out of it with trading and everything. And that um, you know basically makes criminals interested in this market, because there's a lot that can be done in order to basically steal money out of the other people. So you know there's so much of this crimes and scams out there, that I don't really feel, once again, that it's worth the risk to adopt on a global scale some kind, any kind of cryptocurrency or similar system, really. um, because it's gonna take a lot of effort. Once again, the conversion is gonna be very long and very difficult, and just removing banks from there, it's almost impossible. And as you said it, the only way to do something like this will be to just have some kind of centralized cryptocurrency, which doesn't really make sense if you ask me. uh, so
Just to add in a point, the thing is that what happened is, like, this scams that you told about, that there will be a lot of scams that is going to pop it up, and the worst part is these scams are going to come up in the tier 2 countries, those countries which are developing, because the propagation of these ideas will be over these countries also. The projection of ideas of working over over digital coins, and is going to just swipe it up and the payment is done and all those things. It's going to be very much intriguing. The problem, however, it is going to come will be with respect to the scams that's come up. That will be like, okay, you want to like, you want to create these money and want to things do things. I have a complete setup done. You can come and place completely, and just don't think that much. Just come up, okay, at my place. And people, because these tier 2 people, the country people who are developing, uh, they are educated and everyone is getting through the education process. The problem is, with any new come up, with any new technology, everyone wants to get adopted, everyone wants to adopt that thing. Okay. And every what you say, new technology is not adoptable, rather it has to let some time to get settled up. Okay. When it's completely settled in, then we should move forward with it. And developing countries are the most prone to towards these kind of scams that comes up.
and
So
they are the early users, right?
early users, yeah, exactly, early users, also beta users, I would say. So it happens. So scams will be there. Okay, but what we have to make sure as an individual, the people who don't know, we have to make sure that they live in a very secured manner, and we should provide awareness from our end with respect to the what do you say, with respect to the cryptocurrency market, with the market that's pumping at around here and there, the technological advancements and what kind of technological advancement we should do and all those things. So and we should make sure that the awareness is available to each individual so that they think twice before investing in any kind of these things.
Well, that's very well said. This is something that once again we brought in the podcast very often, and I'm very happy about it because I do think awareness is a very big part of it. Of course, not everyone could be technology expert about everything. Even myself working into a technological industry, I don't think I can even understand everything about every technology. So we need some general awareness across basically everyone of every age in any location and country. And I believe this project right here, maybe you yourself with your page are contributing to it, and I hope that brings some value to all the people out there watching, listening, and reading us. And of course, I hope it, but let us know if we do, and if you appreciate it, if you like it, so that we know we have to continue and maybe do a little better out there.
Definitely.
So well, I appreciate any feedback that are going to be there. I appreciate you, Fardeen, taking the time to join me tonight and spending some time having this nice conversation. It has been very interesting for me. um, so well, that's unfortunately all for today. Hopefully there will be another opportunity in the future to discuss a little more.
I'll be honored
uh,
to be here. I have no problem. Because at
that's
the end,
very great.
what we are sharing it to the people. It's completely free, and we are not charging anything a single time, and we are making sure that people who are connected with us, they get benefited with what we are sharing it. That's the sole purpose. Everything else is secondary.
I hope so. Like I hope they do definitely. And otherwise there's no real reason apart from having these nice discussions right here, because there's already some I see the value in it from myself. That's a little egoistic, but still that's a very good reason to keep doing it. But that's it. Thank you, and thanks to everyone watching this. I'll see you to the next episode, and hopefully once again together with Fardeen at some point. Thank you, everyone, and
Thank you.
good
Bye bye.
day.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.